They all ate and were satisfied. You and I experience that quite often, almost every day in our life. Not only we ate and we satisfied, but sometimes we overate and over-satisfied. You know, we satisfied with the main meals, but then we would put what we call a coasting on it with a little dessert. So we are over-satisfied. Now that count that as a blessing. You know, people, there's a young man who get married and became Catholics. On the 50th anniversary of his wedding, he told his wife, I'm going to stop going to church. I used to go to church for the last 50 years because of you, honey. I heard all the readings from the Word of God. I listened to all Father Martino's homily. I ate the bread of life. I drink the cup. I don't remember anything. Not even Father's homily. I don't even remember what he said. So, I'm going to stop going to church. His wife then turned to him and said, honey, I've been married you for 50 years too. And I cook for you every day, not once a week. How many meals have you eaten? Do you remember any meal that I cooked for you? No. But without those meals, you would be dead by now, honey. You might not remember, but it's good for your body. It sustains you. Remember the day we married? You was as small as Father Martino. Look at you now. You double the size of Padre Martino. They all ate and satisfied. Ate. When we use the word ate, it's been gonna be something to be eaten. We just don't suck the air from the air and I said, I just ate a good meal. Gotta be some tangible food. Something that we can touch. Something that we can bite. Something that we can swallow. Where's the food come from? According to today's gospel, well, the food came from the 5 loaves and 2 fish. You know what? I don't think you guys ever experienced the hungriness. I mean, die of starvation yet, huh? I do. I grew up with that. And I just came back from a 12-day mission trip with the 10 young people. And 5 of them came from St. Michael's and St. Mary's, including Mary Catherine. How many pounds did you lose, baby? About 5 pounds, huh? Well, she had plenty of food, but she couldn't eat them, so I feed her bread every day for 12 days. But we have some butter too, right? And every time she sees the butter, she says, thank you, Jesus. But I grew up starving. When we starve and we see food, what do? We fight over it. Worse than children fighting over their food. And here we are, 5 loaves and 2 fish. The disciples didn't want to fight with this big crowd of 10,000 people because they know they're going to lose. So what do? Very intelligent. They tell Jesus, tell them to go. Tell them to go away before we actually going to eat, Master. Tell them to go. Send them to the miners' farms. Have them to get something put out from the farm and eat. What they hidden, what surrounding villages and the farms. That's what the Bible said. They didn't say the miners, but that's what it is here if they're around Americas. And find lodging and provisions. The disciples pretty smart. They're going to keep their own food and they're going to say, tell them to go. But Jesus said, give them some food yourself. If you read the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus said, why don't you just feed them yourself? But in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus gave a little more nicer commandment. Give them some food yourself. They replied, 5 loaves and 2 fish are all we have, unless you want us to go buy something for them. Jesus told them, tell them to sit down in a group of 50s. You have 5,000 men plus another 5,000 women and children. That's 10,000. If they sit in a group of 50, that's 2. How many of them supported? How many groups supported me? 5,000 divided by 20, by 50? Come on. That's like 200. 200 groups of 50. That's a lot. And when they say, now calm down, you are hungry, don't worry. Sit down. Divide in group of 50. I'm going to feed you. Man, the crowd would have looked around and said, what's the food? Is this guy crazy? Or they just made us feel good? So the crowd sit down. Jesus tell the disciple, now give me the 5 loaves and 2 fish. Can you hold it for me? No, you can hold it like that. 5 loaves and 2 fish. Jesus lifted up the whole crowd, 10,000 people. You talking about 20,000 eyes looking upon him. And here he is, 5 loaves and 2 fish, holding in the hands. And he said, I'm about to feed you all. Oh, it doesn't make sense, isn't it? The crowd went out. Man, you know, we follow the wrong dude. We come all the way in this desert and look at this. Here he is, holding in his hand 5 loaves and 2 fish. And he said, here we gonna feed you all. He looked up to heaven, say the blessing to his father, hand it to the disciple, and tell the disciple to go divide. Man, if I was Peter or one of the disciples, when he handed me a loaf of bread, maybe he can't even the whole one. You know, 5 loaves, so he bread half and half, maybe, right? He gave it half to the first guy and saved the other half to that, and he bread the fish and he gave it to the other 2. They say, go give it to them. I'm going to look at that and say, Master, probably before I give it to them, I'm going to make sure they got in here. You know, people call me, this is fat. This is not fat. This is the protected pack for my hard rock app, okay? You like that? You like the rhyme, don't you? This is the protected. But you know, people say, Lord, are you out of your mind? Where's the miracle happen? I don't see nowhere there. Jesus took the bread and the fish, broke, gave it thanks, gave it to the disciple, tell them to hand it out to the people. And here suddenly, they collect how many is it left over? 12. 12. Wicker basket. What is wicker basket? Why don't you say 12 basket? 12 basket. Where's the miracle? I don't see it anywhere. Jesus did take 1 bread up, 1 pound, and then he put the flour into it, and the bread become 300 pounds. No, nothing. He didn't say that. He just took the bread, gave it to them, shared. So I really believe the miracle actually happened as the disciples break it. You see what I'm trying to say? They break in and share, and break in and share, break in and share. And then, every time they break, the bread go back to full. Every time they break a piece of fish, the fish go back to a complete one, even with the head and the eyes looking. I know you're American like that. Isn't that true, Mary Catherine? She has seen everything. I even let her eat frog. Every time they bread and share, it's full again. That's why they all ate and was filled. Because we willing to share. I know you've been missing me for 12 days. I know you're missing my craziness, you know, the exciting of Mass. But grateful for you to share me. What day did we arrive in Vietnam, Mary Catherine? Was at about 10 o'clock, 9:40 on Monday, the 21st of May. Is that right? Yeah. About 9:30 we arrived in Vietnam on the evening. The next day they came and met the children. We saved a kid, youngest ever, in the history of One Body Village. The youngest one we ever saved from such slavery was 5.5 years old. Imagine how old is this kid. 49 months 4 years old. 4. And she has been with more guys in her life. I'm not talking with just sexual time. Guys, more than the month of her age. According to the guy who sold her, they said that they have sold her to 73 guys. And she's 49 months old. Mary Catherine and all the mission trip has the privilege to meet her as she came into the house. Miracles still happen because of the hands of the people who are willing to break and share. And then, you know, since Mary Catherine is the only gringos in the trip, the rest of them are Vietnamese. They was born and raised here, but they don't look gringos. So, you know, the kids don't know how to communicate with her because they don't speak English. But lucky for Mary, there's 10 years old, 9 years old kids, as big as McGraw, hang around with her 24/7 and talk to her all the time and learn like 3 words in English. I love you, Mary. Love you. And that's all she knows. But the bad news is that we lost the legal battle with her mother. And today, that's the second in Vietnam they found. By noon today, that means by midnight tonight, her mother will take her back to resell her possibly. But I do believe on this feast of Corpus Christi that miracle continue to happen. I do believe that Jesus continued to feed his people one way or another. Through your hands, through my hands, through our hands. Through your heart, through my heart, and through our heart. People always wonder, where is God? I said, because God sent you. God sent you. So my dear friends, on this feast of Corpus Christi, you know, we came back here on midnight on Friday. And yesterday I had, you know, up in the Archdiocese of Atlanta, they have the Eucharistic Congress. Like 40,000 people was up there. I was invited to give one of the keynotes about the Eucharist. And you know I love about it. I'm like hammering down. And I said, what the heck is that funny looking priest was up there like, he's like burning on fire. I did that. And then I drove home and celebrated the Mass here last night. What is a blessing? What is a true blessing of this faith community? Of the way how we share. Of the way how we accept the calling of God. You know, yesterday I was up there. I saw way too many people. I talked to them. I chit-chat with them. They all hunger for one thing. God. The problem is they was looking for God from outside. You know, I was searching for God in different corners. I told them one thing. Look for God in 2 places. First, right there on the table of the Eucharist. Right there. And 2, second place, right here. Well, not here, but here in your corazon, in your heart. That's where God stays. Remember, what is his name? God is love. And love originates from here, my friends. So in order to look for the real God, Jesus, my dear friend, right here, in just another minute. And when you take this, receive the Eucharist home, look it right into here. And continue to share. Because that's when miracles continue to happen.